It's Thursday. You know what that means.
What is going on, everybody? We are back. It's been a long ass fucking time. I know. A lot of shit going on. A lot of shit been going down in the lives of 617 and Puppet Master. We finally just decided, you know what? Fuck it. We put all that shit aside, and here we are. We have no agenda on this podcast that we're putting out today. We are just gonna fucking wing it, shoot from the hip, and fly off the handle and see wherever the fuck it takes us. I am one of your hosts. You may have forgotten me. You haven't seen me in a while. I am 617. I do, from time to time, stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/617, spelled SEV3N. See, this way. I'm going to kick it on over to this guy over here. I'm going to let him do the introduction. Like I said, man, it's been a while. I don't forgot which way to point.
Oh shit!
Choking on his
wait
food,
until
man.
wait until I get ready to try this because I'm gonna fuck it up. So
He choking on his
I'm
food.
well, no, food's gone. Food's gone. I am Puppet Master 2191. I do stream on Twitch, and you can find me at twitch.tv/puppetmaster2191. I right now I mainly stream on Tuesday, Wednesdays, then occasionally on Friday and Saturday. But yeah, kind of like Six iterated. Life happened. We hadn't really had a chance to link up and get stuff done, and we just pushed everything to the side so we could get this one knocked out. And we're essentially calling this bitch in the ring.
Basically. Oh shit! Like Undertaker said in one of his matches with Triple H, just go out there and call it in the ring and fuck it. You know, whatever happens,
Yeah.
happens. Let the magic happen. I mean, it's just like Monday for me was chaotic. And when I mean chaotic, I'm talking I got woken up by the wife at noon saying that a tree fell down and crushed the neighbor's truck. And I sat there and I looked at her. I stared at her for a good minute or two trying to process what the fuck she just said. And I'm like, repeat that? And she said, a tree fell down from across the street and crushed the neighbor's truck. I'm like, okay, this shit right here. When you hear that and you're in a deep sleep, you just gotta wake up and go figure out what the fuck's going on. Stumbled my ass out of bed, got dressed, went to the window and looked out, and shown up about a 50, 75 foot tall tree come down across the street and landed on the neighbor's pickup truck, crushing the bed. I'm like, all right, this is going to be interesting. What a way to wake up and start the day. A few hours go by, county shows up. Somebody managed to get a hold of the county, got the county out there. They started cleaning it up. They finished about, I want to say 3:30, 4 o'clock. And come back inside. All right, cool, awesome. Let's finish the day out. Nothing else could possibly go wrong, right? About 5 o'clock, I feel the ground shake and I hear a loud thud from outside. And I'm like, surely that can't be another tree. And then I hear my mother-in-law outside my door say, another tree fell. I'm like, motherfucker. I walk outside. This sumbitch from right across from me fell across the street and landed 10 feet from my house. I'm like, all right. I've had enough of this. I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to deal with this. Just fucking end it. No more trees. 2 weeks of rain will fucking do that to you. Ground is oversaturated. Roots can't hold it. So they come down. Luckily, the good Lord has blessed us and there have not been any more tree fallings in the neighborhood. Now for the rain to go away. So, let's get into it. Wrestlemania. And I actually do have sort of an overlay for that. Puppet, what were your thoughts on WrestleMania overall? First Mania with fans.
The major, like my major things was it was good to see WrestleMania with fans.
Right.
I mean, albeit it was limited capacity, but it was still good.
Right.
Um,
Crowd showed good energy, which is good.
uh, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair stole the damn show
Yep.
for both nights. The first, they set a lot of firsts with that match alone, which was amazing. Um, I was impressed with Bad Bunny. He did a really good job.
Right.
Like he was in there, he took them. Um, Oddly enough for me though, it didn't feel like Mania. It didn't have that WrestleMania feel, other than like a couple matches here or a match here.
Right.
Um, that could be for several reasons, you know.
Yep.
One is creative in WWE just seems to be
Out of ideas.
all right. We're gonna do this idea again. We're
Right.
gonna do this one again. Um,
Let's put Braun Strowman in a cage match with Shane McMahon again. Just because we haven't done it
th-
already in a while.
in all honesty, they dropped the ball with the whole Alexa Bliss Fiend Randy Orton thing.
Oh, for the
Um,
love of fucking God, they did.
they dropped the ball in the triple threat match with Roman, Edge, and Bryan.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Alexa Bliss. Alexa, stop. Let's talk about this whole Bliss coming out looking like Sister Abigail bullshit, distracting Bray Wyatt. And
Look,
costing
there's
them
a
the
reason
match.
why I said Bliss, and that's because I have that right next to me.
I got mine literally right here, it's plugged into the wall. And anytime I say the A word, she lights the fuck up. Like somebody said my
um,
name? No, nobody said your name.
all right, so we're talking about the Orton Fiend
Yes.
Bliss, right? Okay.
Yes.
So loved the entrance for the Fiend.
Coming
Like
out in the big,
loved the Jack in the Box.
right, coming out in the big ass Jack in the box, I guess to say the least. Coming
Now
out looking like
when the box never left ringside,
you knew something
you
was up.
kind of knew something was up.
Right. Not to mention he comes out all burnt up and everything, and then quick change in camera, and he's back to the normal Fiend. Again, I kind of wish they had left him as the other one because it was more terrifying in that situation for that match. It kind of took away some of the, I guess, the suspense of everything
Yeah.
when they changed him back to the normal Fiend because you're just like, well, I mean, okay, so we've been dealing with this burnt up, scarred Fiend, and now all of a sudden he's normal? Okay.
So I think the way the video package was trying to present it, that his power had been restored, or the the fear had returned.
See, I
Um,
liked it the other way because there was more fear involved in that version of the Fiend than the one that is now. I mean, yeah, he's terrifying looking right now, but to me, he was more terrifying as the scarred and disfigured version. Oh, maybe it's just me.
no, I completely agree with you. Like I think the burned, um, the flesh melt Fiend was it was a good evolution.
Right.
Um, Now, if they played it right, then essentially what I think should have happened is, um, Wyatt beats Randy, and then of course Alexa comes up on the Jack in the Box,
Yeah.
and Alexa restores the Fiend to his original form.
This may answer your question. Due to Wikipedia, a company, abbreviated as code.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why we don't say the A word.
Bliss would come up, restore the Fiend back to the original Fiend, but it would have been like that. She was taking the mantle of
Right,
I'm the new face of fear.
right,
Look what I've unlocked thanks to you.
right. Instead,
And
what do we have? A little makeshift Sister
uh,
Abigail or something?
Lily, I don't know.
I don't know. After Mania, I just lost interest and just haven't really been keeping up with WWE to see where they go with that storyline, how they progress it, and everything.
So essentially, she's still doing the playground,
Mm,
and she still has the playground set, but she
mm.
has this doll that is named Lily. Um, and Lily talks to her like Sister Abigail talked to
Wow.
Bray. Um, but she's still like this. There's the fun house Bliss, and then there's
The insane.
the Huntress with Bliss.
Right.
That was another thing that I didn't like. The way that they presented her. She looked like the Huntress from Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Like that could have been presented a whole lot better.
Yeah, for sure. But you know,
They
like,
never really explained the whole why she turned or why there wasn't enough. Essentially, there wasn't enough story behind it.
right.
Um, it was the whole lead up was she was mad at Randy for setting fire to Bray and taking her friend, this, that, and the other, and she wanted to be burned as well. And then the Fiend reappears, and then the first time that they're together, the Fiend she turns on the Fiend. Like
Yep.
there's no real explanation, there's no real reason, there's no real meaning. Took
It made zero
it it
sense.
it took everything that story had built and flushed it down the toilet, in
Right.
my opinion.
Right.
Um, you're going to do something like that, and you really need to stop and you need to flesh out and explain what is going on, what is happening. And it honestly just wasn't there.
Right. They screwed it up.
Um, that's
They,
just like that's just like the triple threat: Roman, Edge, Daniel Bryan.
oh God.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people may or may not agree with. I think that match with the three of probably some of the best wrestlers in different styles, that match should have been the end all be all match to end night two, to end WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Now,
The
I
match had
didn't like
potential.
I didn't like the finish of Roman going over. Now, granted, okay, that's because Edge returns, he gets injured, he's out for almost a whole year. He comes back, he wins the Rumble from number 1. We have that huge moment of Edge and Christian hugging during the Rumble that was just not even planned, it just happened.
Right.
He wins it, he's going to WrestleMania, he's going to take on Edge. Okay. So we could have had the Battle of the Spears.
Right. And we could have had Edge with one more championship run with WWE as well,
Right.
which
But
everybody wants.
then you add Daniel Bryan because Bryan's contract's coming up and you're trying to entice him to stay. He main events WrestleMania for a second time in his career.
Right.
But you've also got this story that you're building with Roman where he's almost unstoppable, like a new version of Brock Lesnar,
Right.
but more animalistic, more brutal. You start having Roman he's got a submission finish with the guillotine.
Right.
He's got the spear. You've got Edge who, has a submission move as well as the spear.
Right.
And then you have Daniel Bryan who has a plethora of submission moves.
Right.
So you add Daniel Bryan to the mix, which I didn't think the title at Mania should have been a triple threat. That's me. I get why they added him, and I'm not taking that away. But I think it would have been better, and I think the match overall would have been better had it just been 1-on-1.
Right. Exactly.
Um. Now, that being said, it is what it is. Um. The match could have been so much better. Um. Even if you didn't have Edge winning, the whole beat 'em or I think it was beat 'em, stack 'em, pin 'em, whatever.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. He said that going into WrestleMania, he was going to do that.
Right.
I would not have had him say that going into Mania. I would have had it happen at Mania, and then the next Friday, he comes out and cuts the promo and says, I beat him, I stacked him, and I pinned him,
Right.
and left it at that. That would have been so much more impactful than you just gave us the finish of this match.
Exactly. You come out and you say it to begin with, and then, well, there you have it. That's how it's going to end.
Like, they gave away the end of that match 2 nights before the match happened.
Right.
And it's just like, what's the fucking point in watching this then?
And you go back to SummerSlam with John Cena defending the title against Brock Lesnar. Before the match even started, Paul Heyman comes out there and coins the phrase Suplex City. And then what happens at SummerSlam? Fucking Suplex City. He just suplexed the shit out of him.
Now, the only difference there that I will say is that you do have, I think, the week before or a couple weeks before, like, Lesnar ended up suplexing Cena like 20 something times.
Yeah.
And no one had said anything about that being Suplex City or whatever. And then SummerSlam, they did the interview, and Heyman goes, "Tonight, Cena, you will be taken back to Suplex City." That worked because the fact that he'd already suplexed him 20 something times
Right.
happened, and everyone was talking about, dude, he just ragdolled the shit out of the face of the WWE for the last 10 to 12 years.
Right.
Because he ragdolled the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And everyone was talking about it, and then Heyman comes out and says, look, you're going to Suplex City. And you can't stop it. It's going to happen because Brock Lesnar is a beast.
Right.
You can't argue that.
Right. And the funny thing about the whole thing is Heyman said that SummerSlam happened, he went back to Suplex City, and then the next night on Raw, they brought all the merchandise out. They brought all the Suplex City t-shirts out and everything. And the big difference between then and now, they waited until after the event to sell the t-shirts, whereas I do believe they were already selling the beat 'em, stack 'em, pin 'em t-shirts.
No, the shirts themselves went on sale Monday after Mania, But I want to say Roman came out wearing the t-shirt.
He did. He
And
had
it was just like, why, if anything, he should come out in that, in his, the shirt prior to that, and I don't remember what the phrase was. But he should have came out in that, and then when it happened, Heyman handed him the shirt, and he held up the shirt.
Right.
That would have worked. It would have. I mean, it still wouldn't have been the best ending, but it would have been a better ending than we just gave it away.
Right. Exactly.
Like you could have played that off as Roman was so confident in himself, he made WWE make this shirt just for when this happened.
Exactly.
Like you could have told a much better story. Now, on the flip side of that, I don't necessarily disagree with Roman going over in that match. Would I have liked to seen Edge? Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone would have. But at the same time, it didn't feel like they were forcing Roman on everyone like they did that WrestleMania going into whichever WrestleMania that was.
Right.
Where the Rock came out and couldn't even save it.
Oh, you mean the?
Like,
oh no, that was the Rumble.
The Rumble. Yeah, the Rumble that he won going to Mania,
Right.
and
when Rock
like
came out and saved his ass and everything, and
Daniel Bryan was in the Rumble. Daniel Bryan gets eliminated. You just lost the crowd. You're in Philly.
Right.
You're in Philly. There is no, like, once you lose that crowd, you better do something to get them. Otherwise, they are going to overpower the show.
Right.
That's just how those Philly fans are. It's that ECW mentality.
Right. Exactly.
Roman comes in. The minute Roman doesn't even get in the ring, Roman is getting booed. And then at some point, the crowd is chanting, Roman sleeping. Because 90% of the match while he was in the Rumble, he was laid up in a corner.
Right.
And like, the crowd chants were just all over the fact that he's just laying there. You don't have him in the action. You don't have him making like these, oh my God, okay, this would be believable that he's laid up in a corner from where he's getting his ass stomped.
Right.
And then on top of that, you come down to the final two, and it's Roman and Rusev, and the entire crowd in that building is chanting for Rusev at that point, who is supposed to be a bad guy.
Because nobody wanted Roman.
That was the year Daniel Bryan, like they should have called it on the fly. Bryan wins. Bryan's winning. Get the message to the guys in the ring. Bryan's going over.
Right.
Adjust.
Exactly.
And then your final two, and I'm going to tie this all back to Mania. Your final two end up being Bryan and Roman, and Bryan eliminates Roman.
Yeah.
Now, with Roman's whole tribal chief thing, we got something to play off of going from WrestleMania 29 that happened wherever that Roman was main eventing. I think it was 29. It may have been 31. No, he was gone by 31. Anyways, whatever WrestleMania that was that he was going into,
right.
Bryan took it from him.
Right.
And with this whole alpha male complex, Roman's got a bone to pick with Bryan. So he's not so upset that Bryan's going to be in this match. Because now, okay, you remember when you did this, I'm going to get you back now.
Right.
And not only am I going to get you back, but I'm going to stop this from happening. And I'm going to stack the two of you. I'm going to stack you on one on top of the other. And I'm going to pin you both in the middle of the ring.
Right.
Story's made.
That's how this is going to work. That's how it should have went.
Like, that would have made more sense. Now you have a reason for why Roman wants Bryan in this match. how Bryan ended up in this match and why Roman comes out a much meaner, aggressive version of Roman, a little bit more aggressive than what we've seen.
Right. Exactly.
Like it, in fact, somewhere in the match, Edge should have hit a spear on Roman. Roman just roll himself up and spear Edge. Like he should have took the spear, essentially no sold the spear, which I really don't agree with. Not a no sell on a spear, but in this match, the story would have made sense. You've got the two who use the spear as a finish.
Right.
Edge hits this spear, and because of Roman being in the mindset that he is, he absorbs that spear and brings a spear that we've not seen Roman deliver to Edge.
Right.
And then Daniel Bryan comes in and eats a Superman punch, and then eats a spear. And then he rolls Daniel Bryan into the middle of the ring, drags Edge over the top of Bryan, and then pins him 1, 2, 3. You could have pulled that finish.
Right. And it would have made a hell of a lot more sense than what it went down.
Right. That's my take on Mania. Damian Priest looked amazing to be in that tag team with Bad Bunny against the Miz and Morrison. Miz and Morrison sold the shit out of stuff and looked great. That match really did look good. And honestly, Bad Bunny's entrance on that thing was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Rolling in on top of that 18-wheeler. That was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it was.
Um,
And the whole sell up to that and everything. And then even
yeah,
afterwards, when they asked him, so what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going on tour. And he just climbs back on top of the truck and it takes off.
yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not saying WrestleMania was entirely bad. It had its moments where it was really good.
Right. It also had its moments where it left you scratching your head like, what the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah. Cesaro, Seth Rollins.
Right.
Phenomenal fucking match.
Right.
And he swung Rollins like 20 something times. And that was that was the main part of that match, because the week leading into it, it was, you're not going to swing me, Cesaro. Oh, I'm going to swing you, and I'm going to swing you more than I've swung anyone else. Watch me.
Right.
If Cesaro did not get that swing, that match would have been shot.
Right. And I figured what few fans they had in the arena would have probably fucking rioted.
Oh. But when you ask me Cesaro Rollins or the triple threat for the title, which one should have ended it? Cesaro Rollins, based on how it went.
Right.
Like, with what I know, after seeing it, Cesaro Rollins should have ended the night.
Right.
Now, is that a negative thing? In a way, yeah, because one of your two main titles should end Mania. Especially the first time it's back in the building with fans.
Exactly.
Because if I remember correctly, I think they started night one with the WWE Championship. McIntyre and Lashley.
Yeah, they did.
Lashley won it. Now, knowing that their main event that night was Sasha Bianca,
right,
that worked.
Yeah, it did.
You could pull that.
Was it the other one where she slapped the ever-loving piss out of?
Yeah, she left the welt across her side with that hair.
Slapped the ever-loving piss out of her with that.
That was a WrestleMania hair braid whip.
She got pissed
She
off
made her
she
moment.
grabbed her hair, and then she just turned around and just started whipping the shit out of her.
She hit her once.
To coin the phrase from Jey Uso, she whipped the dog shit out of her.
She hit her one time with that thing. That's all it took.
Damn.
But that's what I'm saying. That match alone, in all honesty, that match should have ended night 2.
Yeah.
And you should have done the triple threat night one.
Yep.
That way you can get the bad taste out of people's mouth and finish off with something that everyone was just talking about for weeks.
Right.
Does it make Roman's character look bad? No, because he was still one of the two main events.
Right.
He ended night one.
And it still boosted his storyline. It kept his storyline intact and whatnot. You don't have to worry about, the whole bloodline being tarnished or anything because of it. It didn't matter where that match took place. It should not have closed out the whole thing with the way that they
No,
had it end.
I completely agree. Now also, um, there's been other events that happened. We've had AEW had their pay-per-view the month before. Uh, full full gear, I think it was. Yeah, full gear. Um, that that show from beginning to end was amazing. Um, Granted, the end of the very end of the pay-per-view kind of got botched. It wasn't botched by the wrestlers; it was botched by pyro defects. But um, and they've steadily carried their momentum.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of people that aren't really that are saying some things about AEW. Well, now that's starting to be like WWE. They're doing this or they're doing that or they're bringing back stuff that happened in the past. Okay, so they brought back war games the way war games should be.
Right.
2 rings, 2 teams, 5 men on each team, top on the cage.
Right.
And it was bloody.
Yeah, I saw an interview that Vince McMahon did after the latest AEW pay per view, and he's basically said that the pay per view set wrestling back 30 years. I'm like, I don't see how it did. I don't
Oh,
see
that
how it
wasn't
did.
even Blood and Guts wasn't even an official pay-per-view. It was a special event that was a Dynamite. It was on broadcast TV. It
Nice.
was free for everyone who could watch it. But Dax ended up getting gashed up real bad and was bleeding heavily. Cash Wheeler ended up bleeding heavily. Um I don't know that Sean Spears was bleeding, but MJF was. He was bleeding bad. I know Wardlow wasn't. Um, Sammy Guevara ended up bleeding. I think Jericho ended up bleeding. And I think Santana ended up bleeding. But like, you got 10 men. Out of that, Hager had no blood. Wardlow had no blood. Ortiz had no blood. And I think Spears Spears didn't have blood. So 2 of your guys on the inner circle, and then 2 of your guys on the pinnacle. So out of 10 men, 6 were bleeding, 4 of which were pouring blood. Dude, I loved it. It made sense.
Right.
Ortiz comes out of nowhere and has barbed wire that he pulls out of this damn jumpsuit that they're all wearing.
Damn.
And then starts like grading. I think it was Cash or maybe it was Dax. It was one of the FTR members. He starts grading this barbed wire across their head.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
there
basically,
better be blood.
they went back to the fucking ECW days, pretty much. Back when ECW
So
was a big name company on its own.
they I'm going to say they went way back beyond ECW. They went back to NWA when War Games was first getting established, where 4 or 5 guys on each team went in, and maybe one of them left, and they weren't bleeding.
Yeah.
But this was War Games. This is the match beyond. These men are fighting back and forth, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-4, and then 5-on-5. Once that 10th man gets in, the bell rings and the match officially starts. And the only way it ends is by submission or surrender.
Right.
You either lock someone in a submission and they tap out for the team, or someone from that team cannot take the ass whooping that is occurring any longer and they surrender. You mean to tell me we've got, don't get me wrong, we've got War Games, we've got NXT War Games, and those have been amazing matches.
Right.
Ring side by side, cage surrounding the ring. Problem is, there's no top on the cage. There's no blood. And when you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 chairs in the ring, 4 or 5 tables in the ring, and God knows what else in the ring, why is someone not bleeding?
Right. Exactly.
Oh wait, they just took Adam Cole's head and rung it across that chain link like it was a cheese grater. Oh, not a scratch on him.
Right. No blood. What's your name?
I don't.
Was it
I you know.
Ichiro Sarai? Who got on top of the cage
Oh
with
yeah, the trash can.
the trash can and then
EO.
swan dove on top of everybody? Yeah.
Yeah, the EO and that damn
Yeah.
crossbody while she had her trash can over her.
No blood. No scratches, no nothing.
Like that's what I'm saying. Is blood a bad thing? No, if it's done correctly.
Right.
I don't think any man in that match got juice on their own. It happened naturally from something that happened where they hit the cage, got hit with chair, barbed wire got involved. You know,
Right.
what happened and the blood that happened naturally.
Right.
I
No
think that's the
bleeding.
right way to do it.
Yeah. No going out there and bleeding and everything. It's just it happened.
Right.
See, and it's gotten such a negative connotation with the WWE that anytime like blood is seen on TV or pay per view, Vince finds the person that bled and finds the person that he was having a match against at the same time.
So this all kind of goes back to you saying that there was an interview because there was an interview, right?
Yeah.
Where Vince did make the statement that match set the business back 30 years. But everyone in your company that you're paying is talking about how good that match was and how that story told. You've got the outside critics praising how good that match was with
Right.
the blood.
Right.
But you're going to sit here and say it set it back 30 years. That was one of the highest rated dynamites they have had. They had, I think the number was over 1 million
Damn.
on the like the rating viewership was over 1 million. How are you going to say that it set the business back 30 years? It's got the highest wrestling a wrestling show has gotten the last 30 years.
Exactly. Vince is just pissed off that he didn't think about it and he didn't or he sorry. Vince is pissed that he had the idea, he ran with the idea, but he didn't take it to the extreme that they did. He didn't
No,
give the people what they
he
wanted.
he WWE'd War Games
Right.
is what he done, and that's not what people wanted. War Games, they wanted the 2 rings, the 1 cage, the top, and the blood.
Right. They
And then
want war
when they
games,
said,
not sissy games.
yeah, when they were going to do it, they couldn't call it War Games because Vince had the copyright for War Games. So they were going to call it the Match Beyond. Vince got the copyright for that.
Damn.
When he found out they were going to call it the Match Beyond. So he said, fine, we're going to call it Blood and Guts. You want that copyright?
Vince ain't gonna go for that copyright. I really feel WWE will be better off when Vince finally steps down. Unfortunately, I don't feel Vince is going to step down until he's either on his deathbed or officially in the grave. But even then, when he's beyond the grave, he's probably going to have some long will stipulated that nothing can change when Hunter takes over.
I honestly think that when they finally convinced Vince to step away and to turn the reins over to whoever he's turning it over to,
Yeah,
that we're going to see WWE change.
drastically.
I think you're going to start seeing relationships with promotions more prominent, where you've got superstars from this promotion showing up in WWE and WWE superstars showing up in their promotions.
Right. Like it used to
Um,
be back in the ECW days.
the like their deal with ECW back in the days, or take it all the way back to the territory days.
Right.
That's what the territories were. Your champion would go, he'd work with someone, they'd run that storyline, and then when someone's heat ran out, they sent them to the next territory so they kept making money.
Right. And like for those that don't know, if you've never played on Steam Fire Pro Wrestling, it's the exact same thing. It's basically your own promoter for your own wrestling organization, and there's different brands, different territories that you can send your superstars to wrestle in and everything to help them build character and get better at what they do by learning in a different organization. That's pretty much what Fire Pro Wrestling is. It's gone back to the territory days for a wrestling game.
Right. Like you've got the opportunity to partner with other promotions. They don't have enough superstars to fill a card. You can, and you do. You've got more than enough. You can
Right.
send your wrestlers over to their shows. There's a chance that they come back with one of their titles too.
Right. Exactly.
You get a good enough relationship with a company, you can challenge that company to a cross promotion event
Yep.
where it's your guys against their guys. Titles are on lines.
Yep. And it even ranks the promotions. It even shows
Yeah.
where you rank against the other promotions in the business in that particular game. So I mean, it's baffling how narrow-minded the WWE is right now. When you've got AEW is trying to work deals out with New Japan and trying to work deals out with Impact and everything. But WWE is just closed-minded and they only want to think about themselves and they don't want to think about other organizations in the business. You're not the sole competitor. You're not the sole wrestling organization anymore. You have competition again. You have to be
Right.
open-minded. You got to quit being narrow-minded and only thinking.
Well, not only that, you have competition, and even though Vince says, or there's reports that WWE doesn't see AEW as competition and isn't worried about them, and AEW genuinely does not see WWE as a competitor. They see them as someone in the same business trying to elevate the business that everyone loves,
Right. Now,
and they want to see everyone prosper. But you look at it, AEW has a working relationship with Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
yeah. Now, see, I would
Um,
believe the report that WWE doesn't see AEW as competition. I would believe that more if Vince hadn't gone out and bought up copyrights to pay-per-view names that AEW was trying to use recently.
Oh yeah, they got the rights to Bash at the Beach. They got the
Yeah,
rights to um, what was the other Fall Brawl?
yeah. Names that they're
Uh,
never going to use because they're set in their ways with the pay-per-views that they have.
Starcade. Anything dusty.
What was WCW's Mania?
It was Starcade.
Starcade.
Anything dusty touched. WWE tried to get the copyright to it. Two reasons. One, he didn't want to see Dusty's stuff happening on his competitor. Two, he didn't want to see Cody get what Cody should have.
Right. Yeah, they totally fucked Cody over when he was with WWE, and then he left, and now he's got creative control because he's one of the EVPs of AEW, and he
Well,
can work his character the way he wants. Now Vince is pissed.
well, not just that, but and it's not just Cody or the EVPs. Every superstar has their own creative control.
Right.
They tell them who they're working a program with, and it's up to those two to make that story. Like, there's no creative team to AEW. The creative team is the wrestlers.
Right.
And that alone, let me just tell you, is putting a lot of faith in in your talent
Right.
to do what's going to be right and what's going to be best for the company. Like, that says wonders. Now, you look at it, Cody got his last name back. Cody got the copyrights to the Rhodes name.
Right.
In order to get that copyright, he had to strike a deal with the WWE that caused him to lose Bash at the Beach, that caused him to lose this.
Right.
Well, what's better? Him having the last name or them having the names for the shows? Me personally, I think him having the last name is more important than the names for the shows. They can come up with names for the shows.
Exactly. They can come up with names of the show. His last name is his identity. It's what sets him
That's
as he
like
is.
this Sunday. He's not going to be the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. For this one show, he is going by a different moniker.
What's
He is going by the American Dream, Cody Rhodes.
Taking his pop's
When
name.
when he like the promo that he essentially cut a modern day Hard Times promo.
Nice.
And it was amazing. And he said, and for this reason, on this one night, you will not hear Justin Roberts call me the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. But on this night, you will hear him say, coming to the ring, the American Dream Cody Rhodes. That building erupted.
Yeah.
Everyone had been waiting for it. Everyone had been the blonde hair. He's got the lisp like his daddy. He's a damn good wrestler, just like his daddy. Everyone had been waiting for it. And yes, that's why he goes by the American Nightmare, is because his dad was the American Dream.
Right.
He was Vince McMahon's nightmare.
Right.
When they let him go, he ain't going to do nothing. He became their nightmare.
Yeah.
Because he was making moves and he was doing it on his own.
Yeah, when he left and announced that he was starting an organization up with Tony Khan, they laughed at him. It's just like, it's not going to get anywhere. Then now look at it. It's like, oh, fuck. Vince wants to say that AEW is not competition.
He started a wrestling company. Started a school. His brother started a school.
Yep.
They've got TV shows. They've got sponsorships. They've got endorsement deals. They've got like And WWE thought that he wasn't going to be anything like his father. And he is the spitting
Image.
image of
Right.
his father in his actions. Okay, watch what I do.
Exactly. You think I'm nothing? I'll show you what nothing can do.
My dad was one of the best bookers in the 80s. He was one of the best bookers during the territories and for WCW. You don't think I don't know? I don't know a thing or two about what he did. Watch me.
Right.
I ain't going to just be a booker. I'm going to start a company.
Right.
Watch me. You know what? I don't need my last name. I can do it with just my first name. I don't need the American dream because I'm going to be your worst nightmare.
Right. Exactly. And that's what he became, and that's what he was. Oh God, who was it? Wasn't there was another organization that Vince didn't think was competition. I think it was WCW at the time, and that's when they took Hogan, and they took Hall, and they took Nash, and they formed the NWO, and they gave them total creativity over their gimmick and started the Monday Night Wars. And then at that point, Vince realized, oh shit, I got to step up my game because I'm getting beaten ratings
Well,
now.
so that's a general misconception people have. Vince didn't see WCW as competition. That's correct. But out of those three names, only one of them had creative control.
Hogan.
He was the only one to have creative
Yeah,
control.
that was
But
stipulated in his contract.
but the kicker was WCW changed the wrestling game with those guaranteed contracts.
Right.
And Hall, Nash, and Hogan all had a clause in their contract that if someone was going to be getting paid more than them, they got to bump up so they weren't getting paid more than them. You see where this goes.
Right.
Hey, Hulk, we just signed Nash to this contract for this much. We've got to up your pay now. Hogan, Nash, we just signed Hall to this contract. We got to up y'all's pay now. Well, we signed on these people for this one. We're upping y'all's contract as well.
So basically, WCW ran out of money because of that shit. We just signed Goldberg. We gotta up your contract. We really gotta stop signing people, guys. We ain't gonna have enough money to pay you if we don't stop signing people.
Oh, we had to renew Randy's contract, and he got a pay raise. We got to give y'all a pay raise as well. Like, I mean, their contracts essentially it worked out for them.
Right.
And anyone who had that clause in their contract, it was like, hey, see if you can get a pay raise. Why? Because we all gonna get a pay raise.
Right. It's like, I need a new yacht. So hey, Disco Inferno, why don't you go in there and ask for a pay raise? All right. So yeah, we'll give you a fucking A. Damn it, Hall, you gotta stop doing that shit.
My favorite one is when they signed Bret Hart.
Oh God.
They signed Bret Hart. Fucking Hogan got a raise, Hall got a raise, Nash got a raise, Sting got a raise, Luger got a raise, and Macho got a raise. How much did this one dude just cost you? Not just his contract alone, but adding to the other contracts.
Cost like 30 something million dollars from that shit. And you can just see billionaire Ted just like, y'all gotta stop signing people. We got enough talent, but this guy is a free agent. You gotta stop signing people, man. My
Hey,
paycheck
listen,
is my pockets are deep, but they ain't that fucking deep.
but I mean that it goes back to the whole. All right, now on the flip side, Brian Pillman, the loose cannon.
Yeah.
You know what? Before he became the loose cannon, flying Brian Pillman.
Right.
Then you stick him with someone who you don't think will ever draw money on TV, and that is Stone Cold, stunning Steve Austin at the
Steve
time.
Williams. Yeah.
The Hollywood Blondes, and they're hotter than your hottest two superstars, Sting and Ric Flair. And they are a tag team. Okay, contracts are running up. Steve, we're letting you go. WWE's like, cool, we'll take him. Watch what we do.
Right.
Brian's contract's coming up. Now, Flying Brian was a family guy. He wanted to make sure his kids were taken care of.
Right.
Eric, I need more money. Well, Brian, we've got to figure out a way to raise your stock. We can do one of two things. I can give you this contract, renew your contract to what it's at. Get your stock right, get in there, show them what you can do. And then when this contract expires, we can give you the money that I want to give you.
Yeah.
And that you want. Or we can let you go. You go get a contract with, this company or that company. Raise your stock. Come back, and then I can give you the money that you want, that you deserve. And Brian's trying to figure out a way how to get the money.
Right.
And he comes up with this whole loose cannon thing. Now, he's signed into a contract for another 3 years with the WCW.
Yeah.
The WWE wants him, and they're offered him the money he wanted. But he's locked in this contract.
Right.
Brian figures out a way to work Eric Bischoff into giving him a legitimate legal contract release. The whole time Bischoff thinking, oh, this is going to be good. He was like, look, let's do the story where you fire me. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, here's the thing. We need everyone in this locker room to believe this. You need to give me a legal, real release. And I'm just a loose cannon at that point. Bischoff's like, yeah, that's a good idea. I like it. It's believable. And if anyone tries to dig into it, it's real.
Right.
He gives him that release and he signs a contract with the WWE and is gone. And Bischoff's just like, what just happened?
Bischoff's like, what the fuck just happened? Did I just get bamboozled?
Did I just get worked?
Yeah. He worked the shoot on your ass and you fell for it.
But the plan was to give him the release because WCW wanted to keep Brian. He was going to give him the release. That was going to allow him to show up at ECW. That was going to allow him to be able to talk to WWE and then come back and be like, look, these are the offers that I've got on the table. This is the money that they're wanting. What can y'all do? My stock is here. Here's the proof.
Right.
He gave him that legal release. He signed that damn contract with the WWE. Was gone.
Money talks, man.
I mean, when you got 5, 6 kids, you want to make sure that your kids are taken care of.
Right.
And then on top of that, look, his son, Brian Jr., is now a wrestler.
Yeah.
And he wrestles for AEW. And he is just as good as his daddy.
Yeah.
So, also, if you really want the full side of that entire story, watch The Dark Side of the Ring. The new season has started. The first 2 episodes was Brian Pillman.
Okay.
That's where I'd heard the story. And you hear it from Eric Bischoff's side, from one of Brian's real close business advice people. There's a bunch of people that tell the sides of the story since, obviously Brian's not here to tell the story.
Right.
But these are the people that know the story because they were involved in it.
Is that on Peacock?
It's not on Peacock, but you can find it on YouTube. Vice has both. It's done by Vice, but Vice has both episode 1 and 2 in its full entirety on their YouTube. But we're talking wrestling. You've got the new season of Vice, or the new season of Dark Sides of the Ring, season 3. First 2 episodes was Brian Pillman. Episode 3 was episode 3 was Nick Gage, and there's a hilarious story with Moxley.
Yep.
Because Moxley and Gage have a history from CZW and the Tournament of Death and Deathmatch wrestling. Nick Gage is a deathmatch wrestler. But he's talking about, him and Nick are in a match, and he hits him with something, or they're talking backstage, and he's like, "Look, Nick, I'm all for this. Just let's not do too much damage to my face because I do have to market it later." And Nick's like, "No, I got you." Then he gets out there, and that adrenaline gets going, and that Nick Gage adrenaline in the crowd is something crazy. He ends up popping him with like a fork or something.
Damn.
Or gashed him real bad. And then he's like, "This motherfucker just like he's trying to carve my face off now. What the hell is going on?" He said then he pulls a pizza cutter out of his trunks and he runs it across his mouth, and Moxley goes, "The only thing I can think of is, oh my God, he just cut my tongue out."
Jesus Christ.
Like, okay, season 2. In season 2, they did a Herb Abrams episode. And I don't know if you know who Herb Abrams is, but he's the one who came up with the UWF. But it literally, the title of the episode is Herb Abrams, the Herb Abrams story, cocaine and cowboy boots.
Damn.
And they literally, so apparently, not 100% sure on the entire story of the death of Herb, but apparently the day that he died, he was running through the UWF headquarters office, butt naked, with some ostrich yellow cowboy boots on and cocaine all over him with hookers all over the place. It is hilarious to hear people tell these stories.
Jesus Christ.
But I mean, if you've not watched Dark Sides of the Ring, it's definitely worth watching. Season 2 was the first 2 episodes of season 2 was the Chris Benoit story. They also had an Owen Hart episode. Some of the best documentary series now. Yes, it's on the darker things that happen in wrestling. Season 1, one of the best episodes was the murder of Brody of Bruiser Brody. And like it goes details through the events that unfolded in Puerto Rico where Brody was essentially just murdered.
Damn.
And there's people like they have the interviews with people that was there at that show, like Tony Atlas, Savio, like all these people, and they're talking about Tony Atlas flat out said no. This dude caught him in his bathroom, and next thing I know, I hear Brody, and he's holding his stomach. He goes, this motherfucker stabbed him.
Damn.
Like the sad part to that, all of the American wrestlers were supposed to be called back to Puerto Rico to testify during the trial. And they did the trial, and none of the American superstars ever got any notification of it.
Damn.
So the dude that essentially stabbed,
Brody got away with it.
stabbed Brody, just walked away with life on his hands.
Damn.
So it's
Some fucked up shit.
It talks about the murder of Dino Bravo. Um, the Von Erich story is one of their documentaries. The Von Erich curse. Like it goes all all 3 seasons. If you're able to ever just like sit down and want to watch something that really tells like the stories that wrestling doesn't want you to hear or remember,
Yeah,
watch Dark Side of the Ring. It's in there. Um,
I'll check it out.
New Jack had an episode.
Of course, New Jack got an episode.
It was a good episode. Yeah, he was just telling stories about how it was. But it covers the mass transit incident where he stabbed an underage kid. I don't know how many times, and won. He won the damn court case.
Damn.
Oh yeah. So essentially, the kid lied about his age,
Mhm.
and then his dad took him to the show. His dad was in attendance. They put him in the match with New Jack, and they told New Jack not to go over the top because kid was new. New Jack was like, "All right, cool." And then the kid kept wanting him to get color, wanted to get color. New Jack was like, "I was told not to." No, no. Well, when they got in the ring, kid started doing the stuff that he needed to just piss him off.
Right.
And then he was finally like, "All right, you want color? I'm fixing to give you color." Stabbed the dog shit out of him. He got color.
Not the color, not as much color as he wanted, but he got it.
He said, "I started slicing this boy like he was a pizza."
Fucking New Jack, man. Fucking kidding
And
me?
I
Frozen solid.
damn.
I've only got one place where I have room in my fridge to put my shit in. And if I don't drink it within a couple of days of mixing it, it's solid ice.
Nice. Let that sit out and thaw up. You'll have a slush.
Right. That's usually what I do. I let it sit out for an hour or so and it warms up a little bit. Shit. We are 1 hour and 8 minutes. Time flies when you ain't talked in a while.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Um, let's see. Other news in the wrestling world is we got New Japan. New Japan's world title went to Will Ospreay over the course of the last time we talked, and now it is vacated because Ospreay has a real bad neck injury.
damn. They'll probably have a.
Um,
New Japan likes to have tournaments, so they'll probably have a tournament for it.
right.
See, that would be a good chance to link up with AEW and bring some of the AEW guys in to battle for it too.
Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um,
Let's see.
Omega has fucking 3 companies championships. WWE did a bunch of cuts again.
Oh my god. Oh god. WrestleMania
They,
37 review.
oh yeah.
I'm gonna go over this. It's from your favorite person in the whole wide world.
Oh, I already knew that was coming.
I just wanted to see his take on it, on Dave Meltzer star rating
Well,
for
let's
WrestleMania 37.
let's see let's see what Dickhead Dave said. I might actually agree with him today. Who
All right,
knows?
Dave Meltzer star ratings WrestleMania 37 night 1. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship
3 stars.
3.75.
I was close. I was close.
Women's Tag Team Turmoil matches. Billie
Who?
Kay and Carmella versus Lana and Naomi. What do you think he gave?
I'm thinking give it a 2.
0.75.
Oh, okay. I would have gave it a 2.
Billie Kay and Carmella versus the Riot Squad.
2.
0.5. Point. No, like
Yeah,
0
yeah.
point. A half a star.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus the Riot Squad.
1.
1.25. 1.25.
Okay.
Natalia and Tamina versus the Riot Squad.
Oh, I guarantee he gave that one a at least a 1.5.
Close. 1.75.
The second you said Tamina and Natty, he's all yeah when it comes to those wrestling families.
Cesaro versus Seth Rollins.
If he didn't give that at least a 4.5, he can go fuck off.
He can go fuck off. He gave it a 4 even.
Okay, well, okay, that's fair.
The New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos.
Oh, geez. 2.75.
2.25.
Damn.
So you are close.
I told you.
The big man, Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match.
3.25.
You're way off. He only gave that one a 1.5.
All right, that's fair. I agree with him on that one.
1.5.
But I big man and a McMahon. I figured that one was going to be up there.
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison.
I really hope he gave it at least like anywhere from 3.5 to 4.
You were right in the first number you said.
3.5.
3.5. Main event. SmackDown Women's Championship. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair.
I don't give a fuck what he said. That was a 5-star fucking match.
That was a 5-star match, but he gave it 4.
Again, he can just fuck the right hell off.
WrestleMania 37, Night 2, according to Dave Meltzer. The Fiend versus Randy Orton.
Dave Meltzer, my good friend, on that match, the women's championship match, main event, night 1, you can politely go fuck your face with a cactus. That was a 5-star match, and you know it.
I bet it would have got 5 stars if Tamina was in it.
No, it would have got 5 stars if it was 2 guys that put on that match.
Right. Night 2.
Or
Orton versus
Orton White. I'm gonna say he gave it a 1.5 to 2.
Too high. He gave it a 1.
Okay.
1 star.
I mean, that one, I can't argue with that one. They shit the bed with that one.
Yeah. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Tamina and Natalya for the Women's Championship.
Oh, those wrestling families. He gave it a 2.
2.25.
Again, that's going, besides Sasha and fucking Bianca, that's going to be the highest rating for a female match, I'm telling you.
Nope.
Oh, wait, I forgot. I think the Raw title was defended, wasn't it?
Asuka and Ripley's coming up later. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
3.75.
Spot on, guys. Spot on.
I can't really argue with him because that's probably what I rated that match. Only because I wanted to see Kevin jump off the fucking ship.
Right. We didn't
Had
get
he
to see
jumped
that
off,
either.
had he jumped off the ship, that motherfucker would have got a 10 out of 5.
Right. We didn't get that either. That's kind of pissed off. We did get a couple glances at the ship, but that's about it. Matt Riddle versus Sheamus for the United States Championship.
3.5.
4.
Really?
Solid 4.
That was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think he'd give it that high of a rating.
Right. Biggie versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental.
4.5.
3.
This sorry son of a bitch.
3. A solid
That
3.
match was a good match.
A solid 3 from Dave Meltzer.
I ain't never seen someone get whipped with a damn drum like Apollo Crews did and take it. That deserved a 4.5. That ass whooping he took.
Didn't Apollo win?
He did, but that ass whooping he took in that win was amazing.
Right. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship.
Okay, I'm gonna ask again. What was Bianca and Sasha 4? Is that what you said?
Hold on, let me find it. Sasha and Bianca was 4.
I'm gonna say he gave.
Hold on, before you say anything, let me go through the women's matches real quick. Let me see. 0.75, 0.5, 1.25, 1.75. That's not women. That's not women. That's not women.
If Sasha Bianca doesn't have the highest, it's gonna be Ripley and Asuka.
It's the Asuka and Ripley is the second highest.
He gave it a 3.75.
Yes. 3.75. The second highest women's match.
Had it had Charlotte in it, he would have gave it a 5.
Probably he making a triple threat. And main event: Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Bryan Danielson. Sorry, Daniel Bryan. Can't use his government name. Gotta use his WWE name.
I hope to God he did not give this a 4.5. I'm going to say 3.75, but I feel like he gave it a 4.5.
4.5. 4.5. He gave it a 4.5.
I told you. I feel like he gave it a 4.5.
The whole entire fucking night. It was the shittiest match of them all.
You mean to tell me that triple threat was better than Sasha and Bianca? Come on, pull your head out your ass.
Right, dude. Take your head out your ass, man. Oh shit! I'll run down to Walgreens or CVS and get you some lube if you need help getting it out.
It's 2021. Just because they don't have penises don't mean they're not as good as us.
Right. Jesus Christ. One of the worst matches on the card, he gave it the highest rating. Was he even watching the same pay-per-view that we were?
Now, okay, he more than likely gave it a 4.5 because of the story that was involved, the amount of stories that was involved in it.
Oh, God, probably.
Like, more than likely he gave it that because of the stories involved in it.
Oh, let's see.
Because the stories in it were really good stories. I give them that.
But they didn't mesh.
Yeah. The match was just a cluster.
Let's see. Bleacher Report. Eric Beeston from Bleacher Report rated the matches for Mania. We'll go through those two. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. He gave it 3 3/4 stars.
That's fast. Okay. So me and him are roughly on the same page on that one.
Overall, for the tag team turmoil, he didn't rate each individual match. He rated all of them. For the tag team turmoil,
all of them should have got a 2.5.
He gave it a 1.5.
Okay.
Cesaro and Seth Rollins.
I still say that was a 4.5 star match.
He gave it 3.5. New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. All right, let's do this. Let's do comparison. For this one, Dave Metzer gave it 2.25 stars. Bleacher Report, what do you think they gave?
On which one?
AJ and Omos versus the New Day.
Meltzer gave it 2.5.
Meltzer gave it 2.25.
Two and a quarter. All right. Bleacher Report probably gave it a 2.5, 2 3/4.
1.5.
Okay.
1.5. Let's see.
Now, okay, that match could have been a whole lot better than what it was. I will not. I will not dispute. I'm a big fan of AJ. I'm a big fan of Kofi and Xavier. And the fact that you had this walking mammoth of a tower.
Right.
Yeah.
New Day's Raw Tag Team Championships defense against AJ Styles and Omos was never intended to be a great match. It was rather an introduction to the Massive Bodyguard as an in-ring competitor, and in that regard, it succeeded. The crowd roared as Omos stepped over the top rope and confronted Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, who were nothing short of fantastic as they sold the awe and fear the big man inspired. From there, he tossed a celebrated tag team around the ring before pinning Kingston with one foot on his chest, barely fazed by the competition set forth by the future Hall of Famers. Styles' phenomenal forearm and from Omos' shoulders was sweet too. While Omos' debut was a success and WWE made a hell of a monster out of him on night one, it still does not a great match make.
No, it wasn't.
I think he had a stroke when he got to the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
It still does not a great match make.
Yeah. It still wasn't a great matchmaking decision.
It wasn't meant to be, basically. It was just meant to show off Omos as a powerhouse.
It was to debut Omos in ring and make him a monster, and they did that.
All right, next match. They did Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Meltzer gave it 1.5.
2.
Bleacher Report gave it 3.
Okay.
3 stars. He basically said it's a match better than it had any right to be.
That it was. I do agree with that.
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison.
I still say that was a solid 3 3/4 to a 4.
Meltzer gave it 3.5. They matched it 3.5. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair.
That was a 5-star match.
What we both know was a 5-star match.
But Meltzer gave it a 4.
Yep.
But there's a good chance they matched Meltzer, but there's also the off chance that they gave it a 4.5.
4.
Yeah.
The Fiend versus Randy Orton.
1.
Oh, sorry. No. I take that back. Meltzer didn't give it a 1 star. I missed the negative in front of it. Meltzer gave it a -1.
Damn.
Meltzer gave it a -1. You want to know what Bleacher Report reported it as?
Please tell me it was at least a 0.5.
Dud.
Okay, 0. Gotcha.
Dud. Nothing.
I can't argue.
No rating, not even a negative, just dud.
If anyone who has followed us through this journey knows, I am Wyatt.
Yeah.
Like I'm a Wyatt family. I cannot disagree with either one of those.
That was a flop, man.
Okay, maybe the negative one. Yeah, maybe you could have just left the negative off and just gave it like a 0 or a 0.25.
0.25. I mean, you were pretty damn fucking quick to give 0.75 and 0.5 to Billie Kay and Carmella versus Lana, Naomi, and the Riot Squad.
Look, all I'm gonna say is if anyone watched those tag team turmoil matches, were they the best? No. But were they good for the females? Amazing.
It set a storyline up.
Yeah.
It led to a good storyline.
It did what it should have done.
Right. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax versus Tamina and Natalia for the women's tag team championships. Meltzer gave it 2.25.
2.5 to 3.
No, just don't. No, just don't. Bleacher Report
What?
gave it a 1 star. 1 star.
It was at least a 2.5.
Were we even watching the same pay-per-view, dude? Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, 3.
Meltzer gave it 3.75. Bleacher Report gave it 3.5. So they were close.
Yeah.
Riddle and Sheamus.
I still can't believe Meltzer gave it what he gave it.
Meltzer gave them 4. Bleach Report's not off. 3 3/4.
Yeah, I was going to say
3.75.
That match could have been anywhere from 3.75 to a 4. Like, it was a good match.
The Nigerian drum match for the Intercontinental Champion. Biggie versus Apollo
Again,
Crews. Meltzer rated it 3.
That was a 4-star match based on the ass whooping Apollo Crews took with those drums. Just,
Right. And Bleacher Report gave it the same as Meltzer. Oh, they gave it 3 stars. Meltzer gave it 3, yeah. So,
yeah.
3 and 3. Asuka and Rhea Ripley. Meltzer with 3.75.
That Oscar and Ripley was good. If I'm gonna have to guess them, probably 3.5 to 3.75. But I really think it was a solid. It was a solid. I can agree with Meltzer. It was a solid 3.75, but it could have been a 4.
Yeah. 3.25 from Bleacher Report. And then the main event: Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge.
That was a dumpster fire.
Meltzer gave it 4.5.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they gave it anywhere from 4 to 4.25.
You're off. They gave it 4.75.
Yeah, well, I did again. If they're going based off the stories and the purpose, okay.
Right.
But entertainment, no, not at all.
Cage Side Community from CagesideSeats.com. No, that's for WrestleMania Backlash. That's not WrestleMania. Here we go. Cage Side Community star rating for WrestleMania 37. Oh, wow, they actually gave Delta and Meltzer ratings on theirs. Lashley and McIntyre, they gave 3.8 to that match. Tag Team Turmoil, they gave it 1.77. Cesaro and Rollins, they gave it a 4.34. New Day versus 4.34.
Okay, yeah.
New Day versus AJ and Omos, they gave it a 3.21. Okay. McMahon and Strowman, they gave it 2.82.
See, that's more accurate right there.
Right. Bad Bunny and Priest versus Miz and Morrison, they gave it a 4. That's more accurate. Mainly because Miz and Morrison were in the ring with somebody who's not a professional, and they sold the shit out of it to make it look good. I'm sorry, Miz and Morrison made that match what it is. As much as you can't stand the two of them together, or the two of them in solos or whatnot,
they did amazing.
They sold the shit, and they made that match what it was.
But I also give credit to Bad Bunny. He went in and made an. He did just like Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Do I like the idea of Pat McAfee in a wrestling ring?
No.
Oh hell no. But you know what?
And you gotta give Bad Bunny credit. He did not look like Snoop jumping off that top rope with that frog splash.
No, like he was in it. That's what I'm saying. Did I like the idea of Pat McAfee in a wrestling ring? No, But you know what? He had a amazing match with Adam Cole one-on-one,
Yeah.
and then he was in War Games,
Yeah.
and they didn't catch his ass off that cage,
Right.
and he kept going.
Right. Banks
Now,
versus Belair.
I will add this. I do like Pat McAfee on SmackDown commentary.
Right.
I think Pat McAfee is a color commentator. Perfect. He's got the gift of gab.
Yeah.
Bianca Sasha again.
Wrapping
I'm
out
telling
night
you,
one. What
I'm
was your rating for that one? We got
I'm telling you
5.
that was a 5-star for me.
You'll
What they
you'll
gave it,
you'll be more in agreement with Cage Side Community.
probably upper 4 3/4.
4.55.
Okay, yeah,
4.55. That's the highest rating that they gave all night for both nights.
that's yeah, that was the best match of both nights.
Orton and Wyatt.
Again, that was a dumpster fire.
They rated it a 1.4.
Uh, okay,
It's better
the
than
match,
-1.
the match itself with like Wyatt and Orton was a good match.
Yeah.
They always have a good match.
Right. Baszler and Jax versus Tamina and Natalia.
2.5.
2.41.
I'm
Close.
close.
Higher than Meltzer gave them.
Yeah, I mean,
Owens
it's still
versus
that's
Zayn.
me. 2.5 to 3.
3.92.
Okay. Like I said, that that match it gets a 3 for me because I didn't see. I wanted to see Owens come off that shit.
Right.
That's
Right.
was the match bad? No, the match wasn't bad. Sami Zayn's Kevin Owens don't put on a bad match together.
No. All we got was a
Like,
couple glances, and I think we got a point to the ship, and that was it.
like, give me the ship. You gave me the ship, I would have gave you a 5 stars just for jumping off the ship
Right.
because you wasn't supposed to, and you did it anyways.
Right.
You
Riddle,
took that fine.
Riddle versus Sheamus.
That was a solid 4 match.
They gave it a 3.65.
That's close.
Big E
Might as well
versus
say,
Apollo.
might as well say 3 3/4.
Right. Big E versus Apollo.
They had a much better match than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
I,
And
me personally,
they did rate higher than Meltzer.
I give it a 4.
They
Was it
gave
really a 4? It was probably a little bit under a 4, but
I would have gave it a 3.75. They rated it 3.1.
okay. That's fair. It was a gimmicky match, a stupid gimmicky match, but that ass whooping looked good.
Yeah. Asuka versus Ripley.
That was a good solid 4.
Yeah, they also rated it lower than Meltzer at a 3.44. And then the triple threat, Reigns, Bryan, and Edge.
Again, that was like a 3.5 for me.
They rated it lower than Meltzer. But not by much. But not by much. They gave it a 4.4.
4. Huh?
They gave it a 4.4.
Okay, 4.4, yeah. I mean, that's fair. And I will honestly say, I give it a 3.5 just because it was triple threat.
Yeah.
Like the action, the wrestling, and everything was solid. There, as far as I could remember, there wasn't any missteps or any like bad spots.
Right.
The triple threat. I was more excited for Reigns and Edge alone. Like I was in on Reigns and Edge. You know that.
Yeah.
I get to see this heel Reigns that I've been wanting to see for years go against Edge, who was coming back and had finally showed that rated R superstar again. Oh,
Right. Exactly.
he was hitting people with concertos. Yes, give me that Edge. Give
Starting
me
to see
that.
the old
Give me that
Edge,
monster.
the old Edge that we know so well.
Give me that monster.
Ugh. So let's start going forward.
Oh, just on an interesting side note, see what you can find for Meltzer and Full Gear. Was it Full Gear or was it Revolution? It may have been Revolution.
AEW Revolution 2021.
Maybe.
Uh,
Yeah, it would have had to have been Revolution. What was the date on it? March.
March 7th.
Yeah, that's it.
Britt Baker and Maki Ito versus Thunder Rosa and Rio.
If it's Meltzer, he probably gave it anywhere from 1.5 to 2.
3.5.
Really? He's right on that one. That was good. It was a solid match.
Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF.
4.5.
4.25.
That was close.
Casino Tag Team Royale.
3.75.
4.
Okay. That's what I would have given that one.
Sting and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in the street fight.
That was one of the best cinematic matches done besides the Boneyard. I know he didn't rate it high. There's no way he did. But it was a damn good cinematic match. I'm gonna say he gave it a 3. I gave it too much, didn't I?
Go down, go lower.
I don't want to.
Go down, we're going all the way down to not rated.
He's serious. Oh, okay. I don't think he really rates the cinematic matches.
He doesn't rate cinematics. Not rated.
Well, what was his comments on it?
Nothing. Just says not rated.
Oh, you sorry son. You could have at least.
No comments or nothing. Just not rated.
It was a good match. If you haven't seen it, I think they posted it in its entirety on AEW.
Oh god, Hikaru versus Rio.
Karu Shida versus Rio.
Yeah, for the AEW women. I'm not even gonna butcher her last name. Mitsunami.
Yeah, Rio Mitsunami
For the AEW Women's Championship.
Look, I don't know. He probably gave this one a good one because he's big on those Japanese stars. 3.75.
3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
But you notice that's some of the highest female ratings he's given right there.
Yeah.
Besides, Mania.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor versus Miro and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford.
They had a good match. 3.5.
2.75.
Really? I kind of disagree on that one, but okay.
Matt Hardy versus Hangman Page.
4.
3.5.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes versus Penta El Zero M versus Scorpio Sky versus Lance Archer versus Max Caster versus Ethan Page in the ladder match. It's a fucking mouthful.
In all the fights of the Revolution ladder match. 4.
3.75.
Okay.
3.375. 3.75. Kenny Omega versus John Moxley for the AEW World Championship.
I really want to joke and be like 5 stars because it's Kenny Omega. It's probably going to be the highest rating because of Kenny, but match was solid. the ending was a shit show. 4.25.
4.5.
4.5.
Meltzer noted that the match itself was 4.5 stars, but he called the post-match stuff a disaster.
It was.
I just want to see. I want to see if he did it.
What?
Yes, he did. He did do it. Dave
What?
Meltzer, star ratings for AEW Blood and Guts 2021.
Oh yeah, I knew he'd do one for that.
All right, the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle in a Blood and Guts match.
That motherfucker was a 4.75.
4.5.
He needs to come up off it.
Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall.
4.
3.75.
Okay.
Kenny Omega and MT Nakazawa versus John Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
Against Michael Nakazawa. 3.
Not rated.
Oh, really? He didn't rate a Kenny Omega match?
Not rated.
Oh. That's surprising.
Britt Baker versus Julia Hart. Also not rated. SoCal Uncensored versus Jurassic Express versus Varsity Blondes versus The Acclaimed was also not rated. So he only rated 2 matches.
I know why.
Why?
The entire first hour or the first half of the show was entirely recorded.
Nah. Who you got up on stream behind you?
Oh, B.
Nice.
I kind of keep an eye on this chat on Thursdays. Blood. I'm sorry. That blood and guts match. I'm not going to say it was a 5-star match, but it was damn close. That's why I said 4.75. I would be curious as to see why he gave it a 4.5. Like, okay, I'll openly say this. Do I like Dave Meltzer? No. Would I sit down and pick his brain? Yeah, that way I can better understand where he's coming up with these fucking numbers.
Right.
Because, like, some of them is just like, the fuck were you watching?
Right.
Others are like, oh, come on now. You just being a stingy ass.
Yeah, that's like I said. I mean, it's like, was he
And
even
then,
watching the same
yeah.
Wrestlemania that we were?
Now, there are some that, yeah, he's dead on it. I mean, Kenny Omega, 7-star match.
Right.
But
the fact that he didn't rate a Kenny Omega match for
that's still shocking.
Right. So let's talk going forward.
What's up?
With podcasts. So do we want to make Wednesday our new deal? Because Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm tied up with stream. Not stream, I'm tied up with raid. For now.
I mean, I'm okay with Wednesdays. It'd be later on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the only reason we're doing it tonight is because I canceled raid for the week, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. When I get back to work, we'll have to reevaluate it again. So, I guess going forward, let's just play it by ear and yak it out.
Yeah.
We'll get together, we'll figure out a day, we'll sit down and we'll hash it out and everything. As long as it's not on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, that works.
So
I mean, worst case scenario, if we need to, we can just get together and record some. That way we've got them done.
Right.
And then I can post them on the day that we decide to post.
Right. For sure.
But I definitely feel like going forward, we need to try to get some
get back into it at least once a week again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just that, but we need to try to get ahead of it. That way, if something does come up, we can still get some posted up.
Right. Exactly.
But like I said, we can just we can hash all that out. That ain't a big deal.
Yeah, we'll work on that. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. But before we do, I'm gonna, for those watching on YouTube, I'm gonna switch over to a new scene that we created, so that we can end the stream on our little shameless plug. You ready, puppet? Kick it over. Enjoy the transition to the new scene. Boom. Look at that. Both your boys are now affiliate with Rogue Energy. I got mine right here. Rogue. What is Rogue?
It looks liquidy this time.
Mine's slushy form coming up. Basically, Rogue is... It's a lot like Sneak. It's a powdered energy drink. It's sugar-free, no carbs. So it's good for people that have diabetes. I would know. I'm diabetic. I drink this shit all the time. I'm actually in need of some, so I may have to end up ordering some once I get paid again. But, yeah, I mean, it's all the kick. They come in little tubs like this. Can't really see because of the light, but this one is strawberry kiwi. I've got grapes sitting on my desk. It's not too bad. You get, was about 30 servings per. He's got dragon fruit. Dragon fruit's pretty good too.
Dragon fruit mango. I've got a hydration, and then I also have this bad boy.
Oh, cookies and cream, fucking best. Must be mixed with milk, otherwise it's not gonna be good.
They've got a new shake flavor too.
Nice. I haven't been on their site in a while, so I'm gonna go check it out.
It is French vanilla.
Ooh.
Or no, it's vanilla. Is it French vanilla or vanilla? But it's vanilla caramel latte. But it's shake, so mixed with milk.
I think I know what I'm getting next, chat. That sounds really good. As you can see in the video, they got tons of different tubs, different flavors, and everything that you can try. Just go to rogueenergy.com, use affiliate code 617 or Puppet Master for Puppets. Score yourself, was it 10, 15% off? 10% off.
10% off at checkout. And if they're running deals, I will openly say this: if they're running deals and they've got it to where you get a shaker with the tub,
get it.
Run that one. Because shakers are anywhere from $12 to $20.
Depending on where you live, it's anywhere from like 12 to 20.
And if you get the tubs, like the shake tubs are 30, the extreme, which is like apple and strawberry lemonade, I think it is.
Yeah.
The extremes are 35. They're double the caffeine.
Yeah. You get 30 servings in each tub.
Yeah.
As well. One scoop is a serving. These shakers, this one right here, takes anywhere from, depending on how strong you want it, 1.5 to 2 scoops per. So I got mine like 2 months ago, and I'm just now starting to run out of it. So
I'll be honest with you. So this one has 40 servings in it.
Nice.
It's the hydration, but I don't even put a full scoop in it because the dragon fruit mango has a very, very strong flavor.
Yeah.
So I put about 3/4 of a scoop, and I don't fill it with 16 ounces. I do roughly about 24.
Yeah.
So, and that's just to kind of cut back. It's such a strong flavor. It's not a bad flavor. It's a really good flavor, but it's very, very strong. Which I like. Sometimes I do a full scoop, 16 ounces, and take the strong flavor, but I kind of cut the flavor back some with the additional water.
Right. Yeah. I do have the dragon fruit and one of the sample packs. And if you're not certain which one you're gonna like, they do offer sample packs. It comes with a shaker. That's how I got this one. I've got another one somewhere. I don't know where it is. I got the last time I ordered. I picked up the strawberry kiwi tub, and I picked up 2 sample packs that came with five or six each, and a shaker included with it. And I mix and matched it. I got the flavors that I wanted to try. Figured out what I wanted. See, Puppet's got even more tubs over there.
These are empty.
Grape.
Yep, both of them.
Yeah, grape goes quick. Grape popsicle is really damn good.
Grape popsicle was really good.
That's my favorite. Puppet, I think you should at least get a sample pack and try strawberry kiwi. It's really good. If you dig strawberry and kiwi.
I didn't do the strawberry kiwi when I did the sample pack, but I do plan on it.
It's really good. I've enjoyed this tub. The next tub I get, it's either gonna be cookies and cream or it's gonna be grape popsicle again. To go back in, I may even get another sample pack just to throw some different flavors in.
I would say get a sample pack and try the other shakes as well.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do.
But they've also made it now to where you can just order the sample packs
without the shaker.
Solo.
Nice.
Yeah. So you could get a tub and a sample pack.
So up and coming and growing. They're good. Their product is good. I back it. I enjoy it. I drink it. Puppet turned me on to it. I used his code when I got my first packets and everything, and
clearly I drink it. I have another shaker as well.
There it is. Here goes my second shaker right here. Rogue. Can't really see it because it blends in with my shirt. We'll put it on the chair. See?
There you go. Hold on. I might be able to find mine real quick.
Found it right here. Fruit punch, dragon punch, dragon fruit mango. Hydrations have 0 caffeine, 0 calories, 0 sugar. There you go. Right there at the bottom. No caffeine, no calories, no sugar.
They fit in keto diet. They fit in diabetic diet. They fit in just about any diet. Hydration, 0 sugar, 0. It's all zeros. The shake is 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Yep.
The cake I do not believe has. Oh no, it does have caffeine in it. But
yeah, it's got caffeine.
It's
part of their energy line, so yeah.
The shake is 40 servings, and my hydration mix is 40 servings. Yep. But I'm pretty sure that the energy ones. Yeah, the energies are 30.
Yeah, 30. Yep. Real inexpensive. I mean, you can go to the store and you can buy a monster, get a 16-ounce monster for $4 or $5 now. $30 for the tub, less than like 1 scoop per serving. If you go by the 16 ounces, which is the same as a monster, you're paying $1 a serving. So you do the math.
You don't have that hard crash afterwards.
Right, exactly. You don't crash. And I will warn you, don't drink 1 to 8, 9 o'clock at night because you will stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
I know from experience.
Yes, you will.
Still not thawed out, man.
Damn.
And not to mention, most companies, when you become affiliate with them, you have to create your own shit. You create your own badge, your own logo, all that shit. With Rogue, they actually have their own development team, their own graphics team. And as you can see, the logo below me, the logo over there below Puppet, the video that's playing on this, and the overlay was all created by Rogue. Just download it off their website. Save me the hassle of having to spend hours trying to figure out the best way to do it. They put it up there for the affiliates to use. Boom, we use it.
Yeah, they have a whole media kit.
Yep. The only thing that we had to do is
I think they've updated the media kit too.
Nice. The only editing that we had to do is when we downloaded the graphic down below, we just had to pull it in Photoshop, put our code in there, and boom, ready to use it.
Yeah, the code plates have a blank box in them for you to Photoshop in your code.
Just go in, create a text, and boom, put it in, and you're done. So yeah, check out Rogue. It's really good. And
yeah, and it's along the lines of like not Game Fuel, G Fuel, and
Sneak.
some of the others. Yeah.
Not to drop names or nothing, but you know. In my opinion, I've tried them. Rogue is better. You don't have the
Look,
crash.
I did almost order some G Fuel, um, only because they have a Scorpion and Sub Zero,
Nice.
and I wanted the tubs.
Just to put the tubs up.
Well, they had a combo set. It was Scorpion and Sub Zero, and it was a Mortal Kombat 11 shaker.
That's
And
fine.
I almost got them just so I'd have the Mortal Kombat 11 shaker and the two tubs.
The last time that I bought an energy drink, the last time I bought a Monster was, God, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And the only reason I bought it, it's unopened and it's sitting on a shelf somewhere, is because it was one that had Rob Gronkowski on it. And it was his last year in the NFL, and they put him on a Monster can. And I bought the can just to have, and it sits on the shelf unopened because I don't drink Monsters.
Yeah,
I don't like the way they
I
feel.
mean, I got a Monster a couple weeks ago. Mainly because it was a new juice, one of
Yeah.
their new juice flavors, and I wanted to try it. But most for the most part, yeah, it's my Rogue
Yep.
mixes.
That's the way it is. Like I said, promo code 617, promo code Puppet Master. Doesn't matter which one you use both of them. They support us individually. Hey, get yourself 10% off. Not to mention, they do like to throw little tidbits in the boxes too. I've noticed that the first time I used Puppet's code and everything, they actually threw me in a couple samples that I had one time. They threw me in a 25% off code for the next one, and they gave me like a $25 or a $50 gift card to some new up and coming online game site that I haven't checked out in a while. Mainly because when I looked at it the first time, they didn't have much that I wanted. So hey, you never know. Throw a promo code in there, they may slip you something extra. Maybe you'll
Yeah.
be one of the lucky ones and get an extra tub or something. I don't know. We'll see.
I know I had someone else order, and they got the 25% off on the next one, and they got a code for. They got a code for a different place than the one you got.
Yeah, so they're throwing different things out there now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find it. Like, here's the gift card that they gave me. Uh, they gave me a decal. I don't know if I have it still or if I put it on my car. It's somewhere, but they gave me a Rogue Energy decal to use too. I don't know where it went. It's somewhere. It's in this junk of a drawer that I call my desk drawer.
I think mine is on my iPad.
Yeah, I think that's where you put yours. I think mine's on the car. Honestly, I think I put it on my car somewhere. But on that note, we're gonna go ahead and sign off. Shit, Puppet, I'll let you take the outro from here.
My favorite part. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget follow, or subscribe, click the little bell notification. It helps us out, and you'll get an update when we post something new.
Drop a comment if
Besides,
there's something you want to see us cover.
definitely, definitely. Also,
Topless man
um,
walking in the background.
yeah. Oh man. Um, I
I
forgot.
had
I
to
don't
throw
have the
that in
blurred.
there.
I don't have the blurred background
I
on
had to throw that
this
in there. I
cam.
just happened to look up and just see somebody come walking by. I'm like, thank God that's a dude.
Yeah.
I'd be cutting
No.
this shit out.
So essentially, follow, subscribe, comment, right? Click the bell. Helps us out. Let us know what you'd like to see us covered, what you'd like to see us talk about, or just your takes on things.
Yep.
That's fine as well. Um, and like he said earlier, you can find us on Twitch. I think you said you hadn't streamed in a while, but
Yeah, I'm gonna get back into it. I just haven't had the desire to as of late. But yeah, you can catch me 617 at twitch.tv/617, spelled like it is down here. 61 are spelled normal, 7 is spelled SCV3N. Because I like to be
and
different.
go ahead.
On to you.
Oh, I was going to say, and you can find me at twitch.tv/puppetmaster2191. I normally stream definitely Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then Friday, Saturday, depending on how I feel.
Yep.
But you can definitely catch us there as well. Pop in, say hi, let us know you came from YouTube. Come chat, hang out, have fun.
Yep. All of my social media presences are just like this down below. 617. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram,
My
Snapchat.
my mine not so much. Mainly because certain platforms didn't
Twitter.
give me enough characters to be
Twitter.
able to get
Twitter.
all of it. So like Twitter is 219.
219.
Um, hey.
Oh,
But yeah, you
shit.
can catch us there, and we will be getting back in the swing of things.
Try and put out one a week for y'all. Oh, and by the way, we're also on Apple, Spotify
Yes.
as well. You can catch the audio versions of this. And those of you that are listening on there, make sure you like and comment or whatever it is. Help us out with the algorithm. Spread the word. We talk shit.
Oh, yeah. No, with them is uh if you're finding us on your podcasting platform of preference, which granted right now is just either Apple Podcast or Anchor, or Spotify, leave a rating, leave a comment, helps us. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Anything. We're here for y'all. We want to make this something that you enjoy listening to.
Yep. Help that rating out. Hell, who knows? We may end up on the Podcast Now awards or something. We may be an award-winning podcast one day. Who knows? Or we just may be the two chumps that like wrestling that come
You know
here
what?
every week.
The hell with it. I'm saying we're an award-winning podcast anyways. I don't care.
Fuck it, we're taking the line right out of Stone Cold, award-winning podcast. What award that may be, we don't know, but one day we're going to be. So,
But no, definitely, leave us a rating or leave us comments. Let us know what you think, where you'd like to see, what you'd like to see us talk about, or topics you'd like us to cover. Depending on the comments, then we kind of can base what we're doing off of that, to better suit what you would like to hear.
and if you enjoy Puppet going off on Dave Meltzer and you want to see an entire podcast dedicated to Dave Meltzer, leave a comment and let us know. We'll do it.
But
He may disagree
please,
or whatnot, but he's going to do it.
please don't do that to me.
He's going to do it. We're going to make him do it. Because we give you what you want. And if you want a podcast dedicated strictly to shit talking Dave Meltzer, I will turn this thing on and we will record Puppet doing that.
I mean, I could do that all day long.
Silent. Yeah, all I gotta say is Dave Meltzer and he flips his shit. See?
Yeah.
See? the gentle head shake. And on that note, we are going to head on out of here. And we will catch you in the next podcast. Peace.
Peace.